We're live here Friday evening, 9 o'clock Central Time here. Fantastic. Welcome all the devout subscribers to the Independent Investor channel. They know as well as I do, and I'm quick to yield that those subscribers to the channel get to hear a very unique message. Nothing entirely that impressive about what it is that I say, what it is that I can compel you to do. I merely am looking to share a story that works. It's that simple. And over the last couple of years, it's been a pretty difficult tranche through some pretty tough financial markets. There's no doubt about that. This was about the first time in about a couple of years, I would say a good 18 to 24 months, that I have diligently chronicled the pulse, not to sugarcoat anything for my audience whatsoever. And that is to really try to share my insights on both the ups and the downs in the market. This is something that irritates the hell out of me about YouTube and the hype generated machine that can all too often be the financial opportunity. I'm one of the very, very rare people that come in and tell you right in front of your face that you can lose money. You can lose money. It scares a lot of people away. That's not my intent. It's not my intent at all to put that in front of people. That's what people need to hear. They do. It would be absolutely elegant if I could come on and share this idea that I have all the answers about stock market investing, when the sheer reality is such to prove to each and every patron out there that nobody has all the answers. You can put in place fundamental swim lanes. You can put together philosophies that have historically been proven to work in the market, and you absolutely can succeed. I think a lot of people have a hard time defining across a blank palette their investing opportunity. It's confusing. It can be downright demoralizing for a lot of people. It can be hopeless. A lot of people can spend a lot of their time getting consumed by life, wanting good, acknowledging that those good things don't happen as often as they feel like they should, or focused solely on making good things happen, only to be disappointed when they don't get those continual flows of positive reinforcement in their life. Now, I'm here to shake the tree and let you know that life is life. There is no perfect life. There's just life. And if we can start with that premise and identify that that's good enough, then we can build back something super special. It's an empowering way to live when you have full control over your ideology, full control over your philosophy, full control over your values, full control over why you do what you do. It will be tested, as I have been tested for about 18 to 24 months. The stock market's been horrendous. Anybody who's could tell you different is probably investing somewhere else. I don't know, in a market that they feel like they've got all the answers for. Well, hell, I don't know, but I'm pretty pulsed into the U.S. domestic stock market. I cover it from the largest of the large cap markets all the way down to the micro cap space and everything in between. I am a little bit of a foreign investor, and I will tell you, my pulse of the markets over the last couple of months have been absolutely horrendous. Now, with that said, I can acknowledge those, what I consider to be horrendous times, and share with you guys what it is that I did throughout those times to be in a situation now where I take a sigh of relief. No emotion in investing. I take a sigh of relief here. Are we headed into a recession? I don't know. I'm not a market forecaster. I don't believe that that oxymoron exists in nature. I don't. I think there are things that you can do in the long term that can set yourself up to build wealth over time. And if you're seeking something else out, if you're seeking positive reinforcement only to be let loose on a very confusing landscape that is financial discipline, financial wealth building, be prepared to be sorely mistaken, not only in your misdirection, but also in your failed ability to really break down what it is that it is necessary. And it takes a deep philosophy, it takes a deep psychology, it takes a deep perspective on what it is that it can take to make it, not only in personal finance, but in life in general. You really need to have a good head about you. And that's why I throw those things out there. And that's why I think potentially, and I don't have the secret sauce to garner 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't care. I don't care. I've always maintained creative control on the Independent Investor channel, and that means more to me than 250,000 or 500,000 subscribers. As a matter of fact, I'd rather have the $500,000 of net worth that I am going to share with you guys. It has been a swoon, where I made the mark the first time, which is financial threshold number 10 out of 11 that I champion for people on their path to $1 million mark, which I think is it's one of those financial thresholds that I think is all elusive. Yes, I break it down to put anybody who wants it bad enough. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you want it, you can get there. If you want it, you can get there. The simplest thing you can do is adhere to a program for the maximum amount of time on your life, and you probably stand the greatest chance. You have to have conducive markets, okay? Conducive markets, that of which will return 8 to 12%, on an average 8 to 10%, and 8% on the low end is how we calculate the metrics going forward on what is necessary to make it. Otherwise, if that was impossible to meet in financial markets, then I would come on and tell you that mathematically it is impossible. I can't do that. I can't. Historically, it has been proven to be a foregone certainty that if you do invest in long-term passive approach, you're 99% certain that you will have greater wealth at some point down your future, as long as you are taking that long-term mindset and not looking to make sense over the last 18 months and come on and want me to coddle your ass and tell you everything's going to be okay. None of that has any place in stock market investing. None of it. If you need a shoulder to cry on, I can be that. If you need to be consoled in a time of need because you've lost a loved one, I can be that. Okay. Financial markets are not like that. And I hate to just put it in your face like that, but I put it in people's face like that so they can truly understand what it is that they're signing up for. You can lose $1 million. And I know the hype and allure and some of the YouTube channel creators out there that have lost millions of dollars and thinks that somehow the elusiveness of that is somehow going to attract enough viewers on YouTube. They will turn on YouTube as well. All right. I think a lot of these people get caught up in the hype in the short term, and they fail to realize that they have a whole life to live. And that's no way to live. That is no way to live. Jockeying back and forth millions of dollars. I teach you how to wealth preserve and to build wealth. That's what I teach you how to do. If you're interested in that, stick around. Grab yourself a cocktail. Go grab yourself a beer, whatever it is that you want. Grab yourself a water, a sparkling water, if that's what you want. Leave your comments in there if you have any burning questions out there. And my words about how elusive stock market investing is to a lot of people, leave it in the comments gallery. I'll get to it at some point during the fastest 60 minutes on YouTube. But I'm just thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for the opportunity to come on and share a story with you guys of success and wealth building. There is no right or wrong way to do this. There is a right and a wrong spectrum. And all too often, people will fall somewhere in between that spectrum, between right and wrong. And the ability to get it more right than and less wrong will define your path in stock market investing and truly define for yourself and allow you to buffer hard times. I would suggest in a critical sense that I was ill prepared to buffer this. There were some attributes that I deployed during the last 24 months that carried me through. I'm a tough bastard. I don't expect that everybody out there is going to have the risk tolerance that I have. I do expect that people who deploy the techniques and the approaches to stock market investing will grow in their risk tolerance over time. I'm looking to grow independent investors. I'm not looking to grow lemmings here on the channel. I'm not looking for followers. I'm not. If it makes you feel good, unsubscribe from the channel and come and enjoy the message as an independent thinker. Okay. If that makes you feel good, you'll get no love lost from me. No problem. If you're interested in and want to deploy some of the strategies that I talk about on the channel, that inevitably is what we're after. I don't need to make millions of dollars. I don't need to sell people on stuff that's not true. I do not need to buy into the hype train, just like every other fruitcake out there that wants to be a momentum player and tell you a bunch of fluff that you don't need to hear. You don't need to hear it. Okay. I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. There's a big difference. And a lot of people look at it and say, well, I don't have time for this, Ryan. I don't have time for this on a Friday evening. Fine. If you don't have time, go do something else with your time. It's not a problem. But there are people out there who struggled, like me, coming up through an upbringing that didn't have means. I came from a very loving household, but we did not have means growing up. And it has been a part of my life, if not a good part of my devotion, to pursue wealth. I've fallen on my face many, many times in the pursuit of what option was going to be the best. A couple of things have stuck. A couple of businesses that I did fell on my face, but a couple of things have stuck. A couple of things for me that I can declare to you have really contributed to where I am today. A lot of people would say, well, you know, $500,000, that's not very good, Ryan. You're 45 years old. You're an old fogey. You've got 10 years until you die. I would contend that I probably have about maybe 20 or 25 or maybe 30 or 50 more years. I don't know. Life's a gift. I truly believe that. I'm happy every day. That's for sure. But the very decision that I made at some point in my life to engage in a wealth building program has rendered itself to where I am now. And I typically don't engage. A lot of people do like to engage in this whole, like, well, comparatively speaking, I should be in this bracket at 45. You don't know me. You don't know me. I could accelerate my wealth over the coming years and latter portion of my life, because I continue to be hungry. I continue to pursue opportunities. I continue to leverage those opportunities. And what's to expect that this first million isn't going to be the most difficult, and the follow-on millions that I'll end up making will be easier to be made down the line. Who's to suggest that that's not the truth, right? The point of it is you don't have to adhere to what people think is best for you. You can write your own script. That's the beauty of it. You can write your own script. You can make any type of pledge to yourself about how you want to pursue a wealth building program for yourself. Once you come to that realization that you are in control of your life, and I tell you, there are aspects of my life that I cannot control. Okay. If I show up late every single day to work, I will lose my job. Okay. That is out of my control. I cannot sleep in and just expect that I'm going to have employment. Certain things that I have obligation to, my family, my job, etc. But the more we can identify with the idea of taking control, the better off we will be. Welcome on a Friday night, guys. Be back with you in just a moment. Something I haven't done for quite a long time is the portfolio reviews. This is something that I used to do. I stopped doing it through the downturn because Hell, I would have really been on an island if I would have come on and people would have been like, wow, this is abnormal. This is crazy. Ryan, you need to get your head examined. And there were still people that came on and was like, Ryan, you need to get your head examined. You're crazy. Fine and dandy. That's great. I don't spend an iota of my time judging how somebody else seeks out their wealth building strategy. I don't. And it's amazing how we as people seem to spend our time paying a lot of attention to the progress on others, especially those who put themselves out there on social media. Now, I'm a different bird, okay? I am a different bird. You want to come on and you want to scrutinize me, people come on and they think they know me, blah, blah, and they don't. That is the very time that I was dollar cost averaging these accounts that I'm declaring to you now, okay? And I'll try to highlight for you some of the changes in the account. We've dropped this down, I think, to a 9% cash. That 2% is wrong. The Warner Brothers at the end, that was a spinoff, I believe, of AT&T, which is a holding that I still hold that has been an absolute dog for the last, geez, I don't know, 5 to 10 years, sitting at $16, paying a fat 7.5% dividend. But it's been tough. But this is the brokerage account: Amazon, Google, Apple, Microsoft, 3M. Now, these Amazon and Google positions are ones that I held when those tech stocks were a little bit higher. Okay. When they ran down, I bought secondary positions in each of the Roth IRAs, that of which I have just parlayed those for some massive gains. And I have engaged in some stock buying today for the first time in about 24 months. I'll share those stock buys with you during the course of the live stream tonight. I will give you everything. There's about 30 stocks that I bought, taking a little bit different approach to the scale that I'm using for individual stocks. In other words, I'm keeping the positions rather light and still focusing on the passive element through the ETFs, as I am very much aligned with the strategies of investing in passive ETFs in the different accounts that I hold. Okay, so super important. I took on an aggressive growth portfolio. I shared that in the comment section for you guys. That's free of charge, as well as updated. I chopped Broadcom from the technologies and I added Corning actually into that portfolio. So a little bit better value play. And I just thought Broadcom had run up significantly. So I was able to take profits there. I was able to take profits off of Taiwan Semiconductors, take some really good profits. That's in the dividend portfolio. So that update I've provided for you guys, it's yours. Okay. But most of this portfolio has remained the same in the deep red. It was really, really bad there for a while. But you can see here we're back up again. This is Roth 1, back up over that six-figure mark again for the second time. These are the holdings that make this up. Schlumberger was added just today, as well as Chevron. So a couple of big oils, and these are some fairly conservative positions in big oil here. In my account, I went ahead and added Halliburton and ExxonMobil. I still enjoy shares of Royal Dutch Shell, which is one of my larger of the energy holdings as well. But this is Roth 1, where the core holding is VOO. They've got about a $30,000 bill in VOO. I'm comfortable with that level. I like the amount of dividend exposure that I have in this and a little bit of peppering of growth in the portfolio. So this is where they stand tonight, as I declared to you. This is actually my account here, 90% stocks, 10% cash, holding on the side. The big addition there today was American Tower REIT, Bank of America. Bank of America trading right now, I think at about 8 times forward. So I picked up 50 shares of Bank of America. Nothing crazy. I've held Citigroup for a while. I bought Coke today just to add some staples and some exposure to consumer. Fidelity is FIS. Fifth Third Bank I added in here. So some regionals as they've been beaten down. Goldman Sachs as a larger position added today. Johnson and Johnson added in here because I think healthcare is kind of setting up nicely. It's been, an area of the market that has not received a lot of focus this year, but that's that portfolio. This is the passive portfolio, and if you pay attention, we've made the $25,000 threshold. This is a portfolio that I share openly through the channel. It is in the description of every video I make. You can take it, you can use it, you can deploy it. And I tell you what, I think I could have tripped and fallen and initiated this and made money. There's not a lot of ways, if any, to screw this up. I fund this with about $50 every 2 weeks, I believe, is what flows into the sector specialty ETF portfolio. But the next threshold in here is 50,000. That's wealth building 101. Okay, that's just what it is. Okay, this portfolio did go down a little bit during the downfall, and now it's growing nicely and enjoying the appreciation that I've got. This is the 100 holdings across the 11 sectors for the dividend growth portfolio. This is at 36,105. I can't tell you how pleased I am to have this in the portfolio of M1 Finance. I've got 3 accounts with M1. I enjoy investing in them. I do $75 every week in this. So I've throttled up the frequency of contributions to this. $75 every week, as well as the new aggressive growth portfolio that I'm going to share with you now. But that also has been shared in the comments section for you guys free of charge. Again, you notice the theme here. The live stream is about the purest product that I put forward. This is me coming on talking to a YouTube audience as if we were talking at a backyard barbecue or you were talking across the table to me. This is the purest product I do. I do some promotion on the channel that makes me good money. It justifies my time doing social media. I've said this many, many times. This product is not good enough to do if I came on and just did my live stream free of charge. My time is just too valuable. It is too valuable. I know where I'm going and what it takes a heart to come on to YouTube and share my story so that others can benefit as well. I will continue to do that as long as it is conducive for me to do that. It's that simple. If you think that's selfish, that's no problem. The world is selfish. Get over yourself. Okay? Want to go figure it out yourself? Go figure it out yourself. All right. This is the aggressive growth portfolio. This is cool. Got over $4,000. I traded out of the bonds. I own a position in only BNB. That's it. The total bond market by Vanguard, it is one fund. It's a better way of doing it. Those are the 13 holdings that make up the aggressive growth: Adobe, Airbnb, Google, Amazon, Apple, Lululemon, Meta, formerly Facebook, Microsoft, Netflix, NVIDIA, Shopify, Tesla, and Uber. I've had really good luck doing this. I wanted to scale back on some of the large exposure that I had to tech. So I took some profits within the Roth IRA, scaled it into some value, and then started this account. And we're going to build this up over time. Okay. I've shared this openly as well. This is free of charge in the comments section listed in this live stream. I do not have it any other place. It's the first time I've shared it through the channel. This is intriguing. I'm up 15.48% in my thrift savings plan. We're approaching the $100,000 mark. I started this in 2012. For you guys that live 11 years, or hell, I mean, have you been watching Jeremy for 11 years? How's that got you? Oh, wait. Get over the idea that you're going to tune into YouTube and it's going to like help you in most cases, if not the vast majority of cases. Even me. You'll screw up my message, go screw it up. You'll blame me because you blame everybody else in your life. But I'm very careful to deliver the information in a way that allows you to trim the fat without you knowing you're trimming the fat, and put the goods out there in a way that you can understand it in small pieces, to understand that if you just invested in the S&P 500, which is 75% of that C fund, for those of you who are familiar with the thrift savings plan, I have 15% in the S, which is 18% of the market. The remaining 72% is in the C fund. And then the 10% there is in an international fund in the thrift savings plan. Those that are familiar with it, that allocation I provide to you, that is my exact allocation. That's what I use. It does not change. I do not finagle with this. I do not sell this and go to G. I do not shift stuff around. I do not invest in the life cycle funds. I am a big proponent of the life cycle funds. If you're interested in a cheap way of engaging in a managed program, those people who want to put their portfolio on autopilot, I am an advocate of the life cycle funds. I am just not a participant in the life cycle funds. What I'm declaring to you there are the self-directed accounts that are offered through the thrift savings plan, and we are up 15.48% this year. Big deal. I want more. You suck, Ryan. Fine, I'll continue to suck all the way to my millions. Okay, no problem. I'm an action guy, not words. You want words? Go watch Jeremy. The message has to scale to the masses. Okay. Jeremy is in a unique class in YouTube of creating content that a lot of people follow. Why? I have no idea. That's for those people to answer, whether or not they get entertainment out of it or they've got themselves convinced that he provides valuable information and they fail to look at the actual results of their program. Okay, that's fine. I've learned over my 45 years of life that most people are very, very easily influenced, very easily influenced. And where they would defend a relationship like that up and down, question, defend the value that they get out of the program, you have to be able to provide the results that you get out of the message. It's that simple. Action. I teach you how to put the action in place to make sure that you're rendering as close to bottom line success as you possibly can with knowing very, very little, if not nothing, about the stock market, and avoid those big mistakes that plague new investors all the time by just sitting back, listening, and doing as somebody will have you believe is the right thing to do. Okay. This is Robinhood. I will get this up to an amount and I will be closing Robinhood. I'm not a proponent of Robinhood. Once I get this closed up, I will not be mentioning Robinhood on my channel ever again. I think it's a horrible broker. I was right on the freaking money. I gave them a chance. I established an account. I think they're horrible. I think they're easy to use. There's no doubt about that. But I do not think the ease of use is good enough to sell out to a broker like this without the reputation that I think me and you and every other investor, retail or institution, deserves. It's that simple. Okay. And I don't think Robinhood meets muster. I would like to see Robinhood go out of business within 5 years, and I'd like to see the two crackers that started this bullshit actually end up broke. They don't deserve it. There's a bunch of morons on this earth that make all kinds of money for doing very, very little to society and probably causing more systemic damage than the good that they feel like they're providing to people. And I'm here to tell you this causes damage. Robinhood's a joke. I'll probably do a like-in-kind transfer of this VUG, which is the Vanguard's growth ETF. I like the product. I'll transfer out, and hopefully I'm not hit with the astronomical fee to shit can Robinhood and hang them out to dry, because they're just not that good. All right. Conversely, Webull, I do like. Webull's really, really good. They've got a phenomenal mobile app. Their desktop is fun. They have ROTHs. Their analytics are really quite good. So if you wanted a discount broker, I would go with M1 Finance. I've demonstrated to you how I utilize them, and there's a lot of people who can resonate with that idea. Webull is a little bit more like a traditional broker. This has the mid caps in it. Webull's pretty cool, as well as Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab I use for some speculative names, 6787 in that account. Charles Schwab is quite good, and the difference is they're reputable. And I really, really like that. iTrust, I still have the crypto holdings in there. Don't pay much attention to it. I've pretty much chalked that up as a loss, got caught up in the hype. I won't ever do that again. If you want to learn from my mistakes, please do so. A lot of people out there were, smart enough not to get involved in this hype. Whether or not Bitcoin will materialize into something special above the $26,000 mark, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't really care. I have written this off as a total loss in this account, and I don't really care what it does. If I look at it someday and it's up to 50 grand, fine. I will like and kind transfer that back to my existing Roth and forget that I ever got involved with crypto in the first place. Real simple. During the downturn, I started a SEP IRA. This is with just VTI. Very cool stuff. During the downturn, I established a corporate account. This is one that I talk about when I talk about my Aduro holdings. That's where the BNB is held. I do have a small holding in Hyliion. SCHD is maintained in this account, as well as Voxter, the software company that helps to streamline the real estate transaction business and all things that exist within those transactions within real estate. And there it is. For the last 18 months, I could have hemmed, I could have hawed, I could have come on, I could have screamed, I could have yelled about the stock market. I very calmly came on every single Friday and told you that again, that the stock market was down. I lit my hands on fire for you because it was funny. I lit my hair on fire for you because it was funny. And I came onto my live stream, perhaps maybe even a little more animated than I am tonight, and told you very, very calmly that the stock market sucks at current. Stock market sucks at current. If anything, you would have heard one of two things. This sucks. I don't want my hair on fire. I'm never doing what this guy's doing. Or you heard me out in what I was actually doing in the face of that fire, right? And have roared back from a portfolio low of about $418,000 up to 504.81, all by doing and deploying the exact same thing that I've taught for 5 years on YouTube. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. My program is about wealth building. The quicker you can come to terms with that idea that this takes work, and why shouldn't it? Doesn't it make more sense to approach this as a multi-year project as opposed to something that you're going to engage in the short term and just turn into something astronomical overnight? We're all rational people. Doesn't it make more sense? I am a testament to somebody who has made all kinds of mistakes in investing. And I have tripped and I have fell into the net worth that I have just disclosed to you now. Investing. I don't run a big YouTube channel. I don't make ad revenue anymore for the independent investor channel. I don't. I do this basically for free. Again, the advertising that I do for my partners know how awesome I am. They're happy with my service, and I'm glad to provide that service to them. It builds my network, and I pay those opportunities forward to you guys because I do believe Aduro is a 4-digit, if not a 5-digit multi-bagger into the future. I do. And is it going to take patience enough to wait 6 months on Aduro? This holding will take the maximum amount of application in way of patience. A lot of people don't have that. If you don't have the risk tolerance, no problem. Don't play ball with me. It's okay. No problem. But it's super, super important for you to understand that there's a lot of things that you can do in the short term to entertain yourself. You can play a game, you can go on a date, you can spend time with a significant other, spend time with family in the acute. I was a mess yesterday. I saw my son graduate from 5th grade. I was a mess, man, because I thought about the first time I dropped him off at school, and I remember how scared I was for him, and I was scared for him, and to see him up there graduating in his little suit and tie, man, it was fabulous. And those are the life moments that truly matter. The stock market investing application is so much different than that. It doesn't allow you to look at it and start crying and remember when you were really good at stock market investing and now you really suck at it. You know what I mean? I just clicked back to the gallery here. I saw it says one of my good friends. Absolutely. and meaning, I think, is probably the best term for it, I think. And it's really great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much. And I hope all is well with you. I hope all is well with your endeavors. Um, and it's really cool that you came in tonight. It's a network of friends and family on the channel that I do exploit. I absolutely value, and it is truly the lifeblood of the channel. There's a comment that I asked for permission to share with you guys tonight, but it is truly the lifeblood of the channel. Hopefully, you hear an undertone of realism. I really do try to reach below the surface to give you what it is that will work for people, for most people. Okay. And Mimi, it's great to see you. All the best to you. So cool to see you. Awesome. Um, and I just have a problem with the disconnect that I observe in people and the ill-fated motivation that people have, and they put it in the wrong place. If you're not motivated, I'm not for you. Okay. Um, you think that I'm just the happiest guy all the time. I'm pretty happy because I've got pretty good command over my life, but this comes with some sacrifice. I'm truly devoted to my craft. If you want to understand how we've been able to, you know, manifest ourselves mentally with a blue collar salary to the wealth that I've disclosed to you tonight, it doesn't happen for people organically. You can't just come onto a channel and say, well, I'm plugged in now to the independent investor channel. And if you are, I'm super stoked for you. Trust me, you found the goods. Okay. I will not lead you astray. I will not. But the true essence of this and what I'm trying to impart to people is to understand that it's okay to have a little ferocity about life. It's okay to not like it when it's not good. It's okay to acknowledge when it's not good. It's okay to acknowledge when it is good, which is what I feel like we're kind of doing tonight a little bit, in taking a little bit of pause before we enter into this inevitable recession that everybody's talking about. And everybody's portfolio is going to go back down. That's all right. We've fortified the portfolio the way that I've taught you to fortify. We've made new connections with each other. We've made advances, at least I have, with my current employment. 18 years in the making. I've just taken an advancement that I've worked super hard for, and I'm super proud of it. And I did it in the face of pretty poor financial markets. I said, gosh, if I could get a little bit of reprieve in the market, we could get a little bit of breathing room here and actually acknowledge some success in this thing. I know it's there. I've been through this many times. And again, my sacrifices are such not for me; they're for the family anyway. It doesn't, you know. You think that I'm so devoted in this, insofar as getting to a point where what it doesn't work out, and I just pull chalks, and I'm like, well, I tried and I failed, and that's good enough. No, no, this is an inevitable commitment for me. Inevitable. It is an absolute commitment to an end that I will absolutely see through. And it is the very pedigree that you have to see things like this through. It really is. I will go over the list of the stocks that I was able to purchase today. You might be interested in some of these names. This is the knock list of stocks here. I'll show it up. A lot of people will pause it and they'll be like, dude, what's on that? That's crazy, but give you some insight to the inside of my brain. When I'm going through and doing the last hour, I bought it at the very end of the market. I think I hit buy on my last block of 50 shares of Bank of America today as the market closed. But it was a reallocation. It was a taking some profits off of some of the technology sector and redeploying some capital into what I felt like was some real value propositions. Goldman Sachs, I believe, was one of the big pickups that I believed that I got in Bank of America amongst the bigger banks, but some of the smaller banks, Fifth Third Bank and Key Bank, I bought both of them. Okay, I already own positions in MetLife and AIG, so that rounded out the financial piece to the puzzle. I did not buy AIG Met. I'm just telling you, they're really good, and I own them. KeyBank, Fifth Third, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. All four of those I bought today. The big position, the only big position I bought in the REIT space was American Tower REIT. I found that to be the best value. I do own a lot of real estate. The comparable pick in the other Roth IRA is Realty Income. I own that. ExxonMobil, Chevron, Schlumberger, as well as Halliburton was bought, as well as Energy Transfer Partners. That's ticker symbol ET. The only one on my list here that made my scrutiny for my deliberation was ticker symbol HOG, which is Harley Davidson, actually, which is a buy right now. But I unfortunately did not pick up shares of Harley Davidson today, but I feel like it is absolutely worth looking at, as well as Wells Fargo, um, um, HSBC, and FIS. Those are the financial sector. You can kind of see there a move and shift from technology that's run up really, really fast, able to take some profits off there and roll those into a little bit more diversified base of some really interesting and really undervalued, quite frankly, financials. Okay, so that's what we did. It was kind of a lateral step to value today, and those are the picks that we picked up. Okay. Next on the list is Corning. That's ticker symbol GLW. So Corning, we picked up. They do all of the screen materials for cell phones, flat screens, computers, et cetera, et cetera. Corning pays a phenomenal dividend. I believe it's up over 4%. GLW, nice buy here. I did not purchase anything in way of the industrial sector. The only stock that I didn't pick up today that I wish I could have, but some of the ratings had come off, and I think it has blown up in valuation quite heavily, even with the new contract that they just landed. It is Lockheed Martin, which I think is the best of the breed in the defensive space. I own Raytheon, I own Honeywell, I own Northrop Grumman, and I own General Dynamics. I own all of them. I do not own Lockheed Martin. And that was probably one of the buy picks that I did not pick up today that I probably missed out on, as well as the buy pick that I own in the dividend portfolio that I share with you guys. And that is Cisco, CSCO. I told you I sold Taiwan Semi today. Okay. Um, I just saw Matt's post. Palantir's going to zero. It's not going to zero, man. You're doing good. That was a good pickup. The other one in the financials that I didn't buy today that I didn't mention is Intercontinental Exchange. That's ticker symbol ICE. That's a buy as well. And I did pick up shares in Coke. I did not pick up buys in shares in Pepsi. I own that already in the dividend portfolio. And that kind of rounds out some of the stock buys that I had. I bought a nice position back in Johnson & Johnson, move into safety. And the others that I looked at, Merck, I already own a position in, Medtronic, and Bristol Myers Squibb, ticker symbol BMY. So that kind of rounds out the flurry of stock. It felt really good to buy stock. I was disciplined for the last 18 to 24 months, where I've been relying on the dollar cost average schedule through the downturn, buying in the face of what has been pretty horrendous markets, to be honest with you. I felt like it was a good time. I sold yesterday, which is what I felt like was a good time to take some profits in some of those deeply, deeply aggressive tech positions that I took when tech was trading like they were going out of business. You know, Amazon was trading at like $80 a share, and Google went down to like $90 a share. It was just crazy. And I was picking up, I bought a really big position and have since kind of chopped those positions. I still own the stock in other capacities, but I thought it was a great way to push some cash to the side and actually segue some of those dollars into a little bit more of an eventual goal for myself. And that is to move the portfolio and reduce the risk a little bit in the portfolio. And I feel like we've done that pretty successfully. Okay. Now, the single stock moves that I declared to you can be avoided by just buying the ETFs. I own a really good swath of ETFs. I've shared those with you guys. Even the sector portfolio, the dividend growth portfolio, Those things don't require any type of management or anything. You can just buy those and own those for the rest of your life. But the ETFs certainly are products that if you want to wealth build, you just buy those and keep them forever, keep them indefinitely. They're meant to be bought and owned. All right. Very cool stuff. Let's get to some of the comments here in the group, man. Give some shout outs to some people. Justin's in the group, Proper 19. Happy Friday, Ryan. Look forward to the stream. I do too. It's fun. 45 minutes into the stream, I will announce that I will be out of pocket next week. We will not be holding the live stream. I will be gone and unavailable. So this will be the last live stream we do in 2 weeks. I will be back the following week for one final installation and back out of pocket for the entire month of July. We will not be doing the live stream in July. I repeat, we will not be doing the live stream in July. Okay, I will be taking that month in a much deserved trip. I will be going overseas and I am looking so forward to it. It's not even funny. Take a deep breath, enjoy life, do all the things that we're put here to do, and that's to enjoy our time. And I'm really looking forward to that. So just a couple live streams coming before the July break, and then we'll be breaking and we'll reconvene back in August to start kick up the fall as we move into the holiday season. Everclear boys in the house. Very good stuff. Hope everyone's well and had a good week. The last couple of weeks in the stock market have been absolutely on fire. They've been great. So cannot complain there. Week flies by and then comes to a crawl waiting for Ryan's show to come on. Ha, come on. I appreciate that. I really do. It's fun. It's a fun project. If it stops being fun, I'll stop doing it. I have a good time doing the project. I think we're reaching people. I think we're reaching people in the right way. We're not patronizing people. I think I'm attracting an audience of people, probably my own age, that have a few things squared away. And if you're young and you're coming to the channel, you're hearing some perspective, rich perspective from somebody who's been around the block a few times. Okay, got a little bit of life under my hat. Good evening, Ryan. Appreciate you, Jared. Good to see you, my friend. Fantastic. Thanks for your guidance, Ryan. My wife and I have 100 grand invested for a future. So I asked permission. This patron to the channel has been coming on pretty regularly for the live stream. And, you know, it's amazing how you kind of get to know thumbnails of people and you don't know people. You don't. There's a few people on here that I've met with over like Zoom, and so those people I certainly have a little bit better idea of who they are, but I haven't met 99%, if not 100% of the people that I deal with on YouTube. And I would go out on a limb and say that I kind of feel like there's a cool connection with people, even though I haven't had that physical meet and greet, talk through, and maybe have a meal or whatever it is. But this type of a thing, when I get a comment like this, it means the most to me. It makes me think that we're onto something. It's very powerful. Now, if Art Studio would have accomplished this indefinitely anyway, right, then it kind of waters down the perspective that I'm trying to put forward there. However, and I don't want to speak for this comment, I don't want to be presumptuous at all. But if there is a little bit of element of motivation in the psychology that's deployed, the ruthless and aggressive posture that I take and the ferocity that I operate with in going about this, in prioritizing financial literacy and financial wealth building for individuals, if this person and his wife heard that and were able to, I don't know, after a live stream or after a couple of weeks or after a year or so, I don't know how this came to be, was able to make where it would have been otherwise maybe more difficult to achieve a level of six-figure wealth in the bank by nature of something that was heard or picked up upon, was leveraged in a way that materialized into this wealth. This is why I do the channel. This is why I do it. I know I'll be there. I know it. 100% certain. There's no doubt in my mind. If there's a pedigree of successful thought amongst minds that achieve wealth in their life, where most people don't, so be it. I'm not trying to adhere to what works for others. I'm just telling you the best thing that I ever did in my life was start to listen to myself and stop listening to others. Now, I resonate with successful thought. I read books. I read books on investing. I do that stuff. I do. However, I also read things that I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on that. Yeah, I'm good. I'll let that go. Is that something that was unique to an individual and now they're trying to sell it as an idea that can scale to the masses? Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I'd be willing to bet that each and every person in this gallery tonight, all 45 patrons of the live stream, probably brings something unique to the table, unique to the collective whole, that neither I nor the rest of the 44 patrons in this group bring to the table. You don't believe me? I'm telling you it's true. I am telling you it's true. Whatever pedigree was put into building this $100,000 of wealth for a spouse, I don't know if there's children involved or if it's just, a husband and a wife. That's powerful. It's powerful. I don't know what time went into this. I don't know what investments went into this. I don't know how carefully this was thought through in way of the degree of risk that needed to be put on the table, right? So there's some things here, but in a one statement here, um, there's six figures of wealth here. I can't challenge that. I can't say, well, you got lucky and put $50,000 on a stock that doubled. That's what most people tune into YouTube to hear. Instead of just putting $500 of starting capital into the S&P 500 and contributing $125 a month until rapture. Mhm. I think the vast minority of people will fail to pursue the latter option in the pursuit of what is sexy, what is alluring, and what is downright tempting in this life to pursue, at the expense of making a fairly large financial misstep in their life. They fail to identify with the red flags, fail to identify that if it doesn't make sense or it's too good to be true, that it probably is. hmm I wholeheartedly believe that. There's 500 YouTube channels. Let's just call it 1,000 financial YouTube channels out there. We can't all be right. I'd contend that the vast majority of us on YouTube, and I lump myself into that category of financial offerers on YouTube, are dead ass wrong. Dead wrong. And I would just ask you to aspire to those messages that you can glean positive influence, because I'm aggressive. I can influence you. People should tune in and be like, Jesus, I'm smarter than this guy. Good, good, good. Get some. No problem. I work with a lot of people in my employment that are a lot smarter than me. It's no problem. I work with a lot of people and I interact with a lot of people who don't quite have the pedigree that I have, don't quite have the work ethic. And you want to know something? That's all right too. We need to stop comparing ourselves to others and start trying to achieve our best version of ourselves that we possibly can in life. And this declaration to me speaks to that. Guys, I congratulate you on behalf of the channel. I really do. These comments mean the world to me. It shows me that the message that we're putting down is, I don't know, maybe a scary thing, and that is scalable. hmm Yeah, yeah, I know it is. I absolutely know it is. Very cool stuff. Those are my thoughts. Congratulations, man. I really appreciate you guys. Thanks for sharing your story. I appreciate it. Now, Robert's in the house, man. Hello, everyone. Finally got a free Friday to catch this live. Very cool stuff, man. You should have came on with me tonight. I had the VIP invite up at the top of the live stream, man. Thanks for kicking in, brother. Really appreciate you. I appreciate the support. Keep doing the content. We're going to continue to be patient on our little project. That's for sure. uh, he says now Lambo. I don't really want one. I'm good. I like my Tacoma. I'm good. Yeah, I'd rather have a fat ass portfolio. I'm good. Good stuff, man. Here's the golden question right here. Got Petriti 18. Do you think this bullish market is going to last? No. Mm-mm. Not going to last. That's an easy question. That's easy. You cannot look at the fundamentals of this market. We are still suffering from COVID-19. Would you like me to say it again? We are suffering from the ramifications of one of the worst global pandemics that this world has ever known. That's a fact. I know we want to sugarcoat, and I know we want to put lipstick on a pig. I totally get all that. That's great. The commentary cannot wait until this thing turns around and it's all golden parachutes again. But this is not a bull. This is a bullish market over the last couple of weeks. This is hardly a bull market. We had over the last couple of months leadership at the top of the market contained within 10 stocks. 10. Over the last couple of weeks, specifically, it's broadened to about 20%. So you've got a little bit more penetration and a little bit more depth. But that is not the depth and breadth that we want. I'm positioning now in financials for about 2 years down the line when hopefully we have emerged to a place where we have interest rates that are driving down the effects of inflation. I don't see inflation coming down anytime soon. I don't think the Fed's target of 2% is even achievable, let alone achievable within the next, definitely not 12 months. That ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. Can we keep the prime interest rate this high for a prolonged amount of time? Yeah, we can. It's going to cause damage. Mm-hmm. You're going to find that the access to capital for small companies out there is going to be restricted. And it is going to stress those companies out there that are in need of capital and can't find it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are in a different environment right now. Do I think the bullish market is going to last? I don't. How do I prepare myself for that? Continue to build the cash. Continue to delever where you can. Those opportunistic buys that I took in large technology about 4 or 5 months ago, nobody was doing that. Matt was. I give credit to Matt. Matt's probably the only one in the group, unless some of you guys were doing it on my charge to say, hey, I mean, come on, you know, Amazon's not going away. It might be time to take a long-term strategic position in the company. That's what I did. I put a $10,000 bill on Amazon. I still own it. Still own it, and I'm glad to own it. But I took a secondary position, that of which I've liquidated for some really, really good swing profit in the Roth, and those are tax protected profits. But we'll just have to continue to monitor. Could I be wrong? Yes, I could. But for entertainment purposes, I'll let you know I don't think this is going to last. I think it's going to persist. I think we're going to get some pretty good markets through 2023. It seems as if the market is in a prove it state, kind of in denial. I think 2024, perhaps maybe around the beginning of 2024, is probably where we're going to get our inevitable recession. And it is inevitable. We need housing to come back. We need the employment numbers to shake. Right now, the metrics are just way too strong for the cross current of negative information with the amount of liquidity in this country. And I think it's going to shake out, and there's no problem. I'm investing for the long term, so I don't care if I get another swoon in the markets. I'm going to take advantage of them. Go a little bit of bonus time tonight, guys, for sure. In Thomas we trusted. Yeah, we'll see. Verdict is out, I guess. I like Thomas Healy, but he shows up once a month. Yeah, no, it's not SAT. I'm not happy about it. And quite frankly, I've written that project off as well. Um, I have not written it off in way of action, but as far as me putting my time and effort into a project that they can't provide, the last news release was from May 11th. And that's not satisfactory. So when they figure it out, they'll figure it out, and they'll start to put some information out there. But until then, I'm kind of off that project. I'm going to put my focus on other things, things that I actually enjoy a hell of a lot more than that. I hold a lot of these same stocks. Yep, Salesforce is a good one. They all just got drawn down at the wrong time, Robert. That's the problem. Amazon are some of my largest. Yeah, I mean, those are phenomenal blue chip companies. Phenomenal. I love them both. I own big positions in both of them as well. Really good stuff. Got Allen's in the house. Very cool. Everclear says $1.86. I skip my McDonald's and I can buy more shares. My plan to live longer and see it through to fruition. Yeah, it might be what it's going to take. I tell you what, we were kind of duped on this. Very cool. Yeah, trillions. Very cool. I know who you are. Crying out loud. Very cool stuff. That was a highlight of my night, man. It's great to see you. Thanks for popping in. Very cool stuff. Watching Jeremy's like watching Jim Cramer. See, I like Jim Cramer, actually. Got to do due diligence and make your own informed decisions. That's prudent. I don't mean to come down on him as a person, but I think his message is extremely damaging. And he's not that good at what he does. So I don't understand the lemmings that follow him, but that's all good. That's all good. I got good people like this. Cool stuff. I appreciate that vote of confidence. Awesome stuff, man. Says, I hear you. My oldest son just graduated college, bachelor's in business administration. So proud he's pursuing a pilot career, just like dad. That's awesome, man. Good for you. You got to be very, very proud. That's what those moments are made of, for sure. We'll start to wrap it down, starting to get to the end of the stream here. Indeed, my private school just got the state scholarship to help families receive free tuition, and my school is very unconventional. That it is. I know you're doing a great thing. We have a late waiting list. I'm not surprised about that either. We just expanded, and now we have to wait. Fantastic. It's super, super good to hear that, man. I'm very, very happy for you. We need more people like you in the world. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Cruising down. Got Rebecca in the house. Matt needs to hold up a sarcasm sign sometimes. It gets a little old for me. Stop doing that, Matt. Just tell people what they do or don't need to hear. All right. Because I always look now at his he's got more sarcasm than I do. And I'm like, is that how people take me? Jesus, man. Yeah, man. Don't apologize for a good stock pick like Palantir. It's fine. You told people what you felt, and that's good enough. It's all good. Greetings. Tune in tonight. I'm horizontal, looking at my eyelids, but listening intently. Don't sweat the small stuff. Still picking up highly on Aduro, Parcel Pal. Good stuff, man. Yeah, I own 100,000 Parcel Pal, 2750 of highly, and 2750 of Aduro, and about probably close to 19,000, 18,500 or so in Ileon. Nice building position, been basing for multiple months. It is what it is. We'll continue to wait. Very cool stuff. You're welcome. Well earned. Tom's in the house. Nice to see you, Tom. Welcome to the live stream. Sorry for the late shout out. I'm just now getting to the bottom of the stream. Hey, Ryan, history says the Fed paused rate hikes outperform year over year. Okay. With that in mind, then EV expansion, what are your opinions on Albemarle at these prices? Been starting to build a position. It's phenomenal. Definitely. Yeah, it's a good one. Good stuff. Thanks for the question. I really appreciate it. It says, enjoy your trip. Indeed, I will. I absolutely will. A hell of a robust community in here tonight. Very cool stuff, man. Thanks for your coverage. Take care. You too, Nemesis. Appreciate you. Natalie's in the house. I do too, the Everclear boy. What's Natalie up to? There's a comment. Looking forward to a day when you can talk about Hyliion making a major move and moving towards profitability. If they ever get to that end, Natalie, I will take an interesting perspective. This investment over the last 3 years, in my humble opinion, and I don't say this with any reservation, has been a stupid investment. Stupid. From the perspective of the fundamentals did not materialize in the way that I expected them to materialize. Does that mean I'm stupid? No, it does not. Does it mean that they could materialize? Yes, I believe that they will, in due time, achieve those fundamentals that they sought out for. However, the size of the position and the early involvement in the company at such a huge amount probably could have been scaled a little bit more carefully, and that's a mistake that I won't make again. There's no doubt. I think they're sitting on a phenomenal product. I really do, but it's going to come down to execution. This management, it's theirs to screw up, and they could royally screw it up. And if they do, well, then what are we to do about it? I'd like to see the world change for the better. I really would. And I think companies that I back and are really easy to invest in, like Aduro in the plastic recycling space, I'm very much a thematic investor on, and that banks are easy. Lend money, make interest rate, make profit, etc. Make loans, make profit, etc. They're very, very boring. Whereas I can really get behind an idea of new technology that's coming online, like a Hyliion through the spec process, that should have been provided ample funding to get where they are opting to go. The question is, will they? Will they need more funding? Will they have what it takes? Will they have the industry interest in the product, et cetera, going forward? And I'm with you. I think it'll be wonderful to allow me the opportunity to really provide my insights on what happened, when it was happening, what it means for the future, how we can be stronger from it, how and what it took to get this thing to a something of value, right? Those are the things that a guy like myself will be absolutely responsible about. The irresponsible thing is to come on and say, I told you so. And I believe we will have our fair share of those. And I warn you of that. I really do. Because there's a lot of hype to be had by that. There will be an element for me of I told you so, but I will deliver it in a way that will provide you some insights to understand that not a lot of people were willing to follow where it is that I needed to go in seeing this thing to an end. And I think that's why a lot of people need to focus on what they can handle, um, stay within their tolerance. If you entered into this thinking that you had the tolerance, come to find out that you didn't, and you pull chocks and you exit the position, that's problematic, right? That is not what we want to see. This is speculative investing. That's what comes with the territory. If I have to wait one more year to get these answers and be able to come on and provide some transparency around the fundamentals through the numbers that this company will release, or if I have to wait 5 years, anything is possible at this point about how much time, how much money, how much opportunity is going to need to be faced down and realized. And it's anybody's guess as to whether or not we are going to turn the page and enter into a little bit more conducive times. I hope you're right. I really do. It's going to be a lot of fun for me to share this, which has been in no short order an investment of a lifetime. I'm more excited now, having gone through what I've gone through, to own the company now than I was 3 years ago, than I was 2 years ago, than I was 1 year ago. I'm more excited now to own the company right now for the prospects of where I'm going to be 1 year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. Does that make sense? In other words, I look at the future prospects of this company, and having gone through what we've gone through, having lended itself that much more toward that end, I think will prove out, and it's going to be great to chronicle the ride. And I absolutely will, Natalie. I really will. I appreciate you coming on to the live stream tonight. Thank you for poking the bear a little bit on one of my favorite topics. I enjoy talking about this. It's really unfortunate. There's a few things that I just cringe and I don't understand. It's probably for no good reason that I don't understand the silence of the line, and it's probably my own deficiency and my deficiency alone, in that my criticism probably is not warranted. However, I lend that criticism because I don't think it's I don't think it's ill-founded. I think they can do a better job of transparency. That's just my opinion, and I'm entitled to it. I own 20,000 shares of the company, so I'm absolutely entitled to it. Cherie's getting a late inning call out. Good evening. I'm super late. That's all good. Thank you so much for making your way in. Very cool stuff. I think that's about it, guys. We'll wrap it up here. Don't want to take too much of your time on a Friday. I'm going to chill out myself. Remember what I said through the message. You guys are all part of it. I can't thank you enough, each and every one of you guys, for your support over the channel. It is imperative that we continue to help people, to provide a free message for people to come on, receive some some successful tutorials, and to also hang out. You guys are also part of the advocacy when it comes to your own personal empowerment and taking control of your finances. And I think anybody can do it. I really do. I think it is kind of rudimentary. We just need to train people up on how to think differently. Think differently when it comes to commanding your finances, and we'll be better off for it as a group. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. Fastest 60 minutes on YouTube. We will be off next week. We will be back in 2 weeks, and then off for the totality of the month of July. Guys, have a great, great rest of the week. We will catch you in 2 weeks as we enter into the summer. Guys, be well, and we will catch you in 2 weeks.